Grand Rising. Can't wait to talk about my last few days on my way to work with that super moon shit. Whoop, it's been pretty intense. But here I want to come to some parts of this interview. Kind of really helps totally understand why the fact that playing woman this go around is just kind of the best idea. A lot of shit in here, a lot of shit out all over the place about the female sector of the Illuminati actually being higher than men. And that Beyonce song about who run the world girls is pretty fucking true. But going from nothing to the awakening that I had, I found this guy fucking quick. But it's really hard to go from nothing to a big hunk of everything with nothing to stand on otherwise. Like, you gotta just go through millions and billions of years worth of all of this shit in between kind of stuff. And it's literally like learning a new language, trying to understand spirituality. And I'm definitely understanding his material a lot more. And this is interesting.
Namaste, Galactic family. Welcome back to the channel Indigo Angel. Come on into this dimension. Come on into this container. Come on into this galactic container. I'm excited to be here. We have a very special show, a very special guest here today. This is Sethikus from Black Earth Productions. You guys may have seen the previous show that we had done before on the Lemurian Star Core Codex about a year ago. So I'm very excited to meet up and collaborate with Sethikus again. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here. How are you doing today?
Absolutely. I'm kicking ass over here, Amanda. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I'm really excited to dive into the topic of discussion. We have a lot of things that we're going to cover. Some of the things I wanted to get into, though, approach it from just a little bit more of a personal level today and ask you some things that I feel could be seen as some controversial aspects. And I say this because the last time you were on my channel, the feedback that I got from our collaboration was immense. It was unlike anything that I had ever experienced before. It was about 50% of the people seemed to have really resonated with you. They felt you on a core level. They felt everything that you were saying. They really tuned into you, and they were just like, my gosh, have this guy on again. You need to do another collab with him. But then half of the people I felt were very resistant. They were very taken by your expression, the way you expressed yourself, and I think they were treated. Because of that and how people kind of responded, it's interesting. I've taken the last year to really actually get to know you, open up my energy, and experience what you're about, the inner levels of you, your templating, your architecture. Really, I've come to seeing that it's just that you care so fucking much. And and I'm cooking right now because, hey, and I want to give a disclaimer for this video today. I want to let you guys know that with Sethikus, he has a hard-hitting and in-your-face approach. Okay, he has this way that he expresses himself. It can be seen as somewhat aggressive, but I don't feel like that's the right word. It's more of just direct. It's tribal. It's ancient dialect. It's really coming from a place of caring very deeply for the direction of which humanity is going. But yeah, disclaimer on that, because the way that you express yourself, I think, can be a little bit hard for people to take in if they don't really understand who you are, where you're coming from, and what you mean by the way you express yourself. So do you think you can just explain that a little bit? And I mean,
Right.
watching. Yeah.
You have to understand how calcified people actually fucking are. And if that bothers you, it's no issue in terms of what I think. I'm not responsible for how somebody else reacts or responds to how I am. I have no issue in terms of who I am or how I present myself. We live in a time where people have been so unbelievably brainwashed to the hilt. Anything that comes forth in terms of an authentic expression and cuts past convoluted ideas that we've been conditioned to assume we have to be in terms of correspondence, of course the programming and the cognitive dissonance is going to kick out. It's like that with a lot of other people in my network as well. We just keep it raw, we keep it real, we keep it relevant, and that's what's going to take. I operate in terms of the true divine masculine energy, which in fact is more terrifying than the dark ones in context. So if people can't take it, there's the fucking door. I don't have time for you.
Right. Yeah. So it's very direct and it's very piercing in a way that it's going to the core of people. And
yeah, if people want to know a little bit about how my templating operates, we can touch upon different systems of gnosis. And
I think that's really good. I want to know about your templating. I want you to describe what your templating is, because there are so many layers and levels to you. It's very tribal. It's very druid. It's very ancient. And I want people to understand the templating that you hold, because it's very unique. And I think that it would be very beneficial to describe at your core levels this wolf and Alfendar. Can you say that word?
Right.
That's kind of the core essence of your training.
When it comes to level 2 adept with the mystery school, I take people into Wolfenar training, and that's learning how to master the art and science of hyperdimensional warfare. We are in a war right now. The war has been on our doorstep, especially since 2020. And if people can't see that, then you're a part of the fucking problem. I have no qualms telling people how it is. And it usually does end up manifesting that way because of my disposition. I have a lot of scorpionic energies. And if you can't keep it real, I'm not going to diminish. I'm not going to tone myself down for anybody else's plausible deniability. Why would I deny myself the right to express authentically in the way that I am meant to as human here on earth? In fact, it's my gift to the world. And if people don't want to receive that gift, you don't have to receive it. In terms of other systems of gnosis, one system that I have explored is human design. It's a very interesting system of gnosis, but I'm a projector, and the way that the projector's energy operates, it's like a spear, and it's always been like that in terms of who I am. And I always had a pretty sharp contrast with individuals growing up, and it really didn't make sense to me. When I was younger, people either gravitated towards the aura and the energy, and then other people were actually repulsed by it. But what people need to understand about the templating, especially when it comes to the blue flame and what I'm actually holding, it's either going to hold people in, force the course correct, or it's going to agitate a cleansing with them, especially if they're hooked in on, they got parasites, they got overlays, distortions, net traps, stairs, hooks, ropes, all of these different things that I've mentioned on the platform. And I have no qualms, I have no issue in terms of saying it like it is, because I think a lot of people are afraid to express themselves authentically in this world because we've been conditioned to sit down, shut up, don't question, don't express yourself. And it's also to mention that I was in hardcore and death metal bands for over 20 years before I started Black Earth Productions. I was up there on stage bringing forth the message. And so it's a terrifying energy, but what's more terrifying is the fact that people want to deny the actual truth of the hour that we are in right now and what it's going to take to cut past the fucking bullshit and get right to the core essence of who we truly are as individuals here on earth. We are living in extremely, extremely confusing times. It's worse than it's ever fucking been. I'm talking about the levels of confusion, and people think they know, but they still don't know the game and they still don't know what's going on, let alone what's required at a certain point to be able to cross these thresholds. What ends up happening because of the plausible deniability, and everybody's got to be politically correct and we can't ruffle any feathers or just say shit like it is, it just continues to get layered up in denial. Yeah, I hope I'm triggering people the fuck out. If I'm not triggering people out, then I'm not doing my job. I'm not in the position that I'm meant to be.
Same. I got a lot of scorpion energy myself, and I swear I feel like my language and my approach would make this guy blush. I absolutely I am going this is the Indigo Angel that I'm going to have do my birth chart and I'm going to speak to. She and him are buddies. Him and Solar Lion 144 are buddies. And I wanted to talk to him, and I will talk to Solar Lion 144 one of these days. But it fell through twice. So it's kind of like, all right, well, now I'm going to try going with her, and I'm going to see how this all plays out. Because I want to talk to him. And I feel like I need to get through her or get through somebody like Solar Line 144 and speak to them, because not only does nothing bad out there like me, nothing fucking good seems to like me either anymore. My friends and family just don't understand what's going on. I say I'm holding a contract for an entity known as Elijah, and the spiritual community, the ones who are awake, they're looking at me going, oh, Elijah, that ain't good. L names are all bad and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's why I'm a fucking Indigo 3, so I'm trying to be nice and help. Piece of shit.
In terms of what I do and what I've manifested with the mystery school on my end.
I can see that a lot because people just see the direct approach, and I think that there's this love and light component of it, and they just want things to be expressed in a certain way. And when it's coming through something that's more direct, it's like you're really fed up with things that are going on, and you're ready for change. You're wanting more. You're wanting to see consciousness expand. You're wanting for people to step up to the plate, step into their guardianship, step up into their true divine templing. And so,
has anything else worked up until this point on the levels necessary to cross these thresholds? The answer to that question is a big fat no. It's not worked. And the reason it hasn't worked is because of the attack, not just on womankind, but men specifically in our world, psyop, all these dudes becoming effeminate, and all this different kind of shit. I just went out to a public venue recently and was absolutely disgusted at the turnout. And ironically, the vocalist of the band that I went to go see, he was talking about the people in the crowd. If you go onto my Facebook, you can check out the lyrics. He was talking about the people in the crowd. And that's how ignorant they were. They didn't realize. They're just there to be entertained or whatever. No. The true bards are going to say it like it is. And yeah, I am fed up. I'm fed up the aeons, in fact, because it's taken many, many, many incarnations to get things up to this point. But it's still hitting the ceiling. It's still hitting the wall. And we're getting thrown back on feedback loops and timelines and time cycles because people still don't know the occult. They don't know how deep the conspiracy actually goes. And there's not enough proper knowledge and wisdom, as far as I'm concerned, on the level that not only gives people the proper foundation in terms of a personal path where you want to run out into all of this advanced stuff, getting into what we're on in terms of starseed consciousness and the disclosure that I just brought forth. A lot of people can't even deal with how their thought and emotion operate. Let's just go there to begin. What is your thought life like? What is your emotional capacity in terms of true intelligence to discern what the hell is really going on, not only in your own life, but the world at large? Where is it really?
Yeah.
And most people, they don't care about any of this stuff. So someone like myself comes on, I start ripping and tearing and just coming at it.
Can you speak on what's going on with the masculine body? This is obviously something that is lacking on a collective level. I can tell you in my daily sessions, my daily conversations, my daily interactions with the Divine Feminine, there's a lot of disappointment, feeling like the masculine just are not on a spiritual level matching or meeting that. And you come up from this different angle. You're bringing like the true templating, like you're bringing in an example. of what that looks like for other divine masculines in terms of holding their integrity, holding their morality, not falling victimized to the system. And
we don't plague the victim in terms of anything. And then people want to plague the victim, then get the fuck out of my temple. I don't got time for that. You can go be fodder for the dark ones all you fucking want. But if you want to come on and pull the alignment in terms of who you are as a fucking man, then you're going to be held accountable and know what it means and what it takes to rise the fuck up and face the ultimate evil that we are up against in this fucking world. That is a man's true position.
Yeah.
Okay? Not to go be a slave working in the fucking matrix. And there's plenty of men like that out there. But then you wonder why relationships aren't working. You wonder why it's all falling apart. And why women, in terms of the programming and the neo-feminist agenda, to compensate for that, are becoming masculine. Men are becoming effeminate. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah.
This is not how things are in terms of cosmic law and how
a lot of the women that I speak with on a regular basis tell me that they're so polarized in their masculine energies. They're very, very much having to be their own safety, their security, they're providing for themselves. They are very wounded.
That's all a part of the program.
Right.
That's all a part of it. You're being conditioned to ward against men that would rightfully be in the position to protect, provide, but you're conditioned against it. You don't want that. This is how the gynocracy fucking operates. And if you don't think that the female Illuminati is real, you're wrong. They're the ones running shit. They're the ones that run the Vatican and all these fucking perverse religions that have ruled the world.
The female Illuminati is running the Vatican.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you want to get into that?
Look, the way the gynocracy operates, the motherfuckers that are their strong arm, the ones that we see via the Pope and the College of Cardinals and all these motherfuckers are the castrati. They are fucking castrated motherfuckers that serve the dark goddess. Straight the fuck up. They bow to her. Okay, and this has been going on.
And I can vouch for that. I just want to, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I want to vouch for that on the sense that when I went to Rome, I realized the spiritual essence in which the historical energy was built upon in terms of Rome. What it came from was the Etruscans, and the Etruscans worshipped the goddess Vatica, which was the goddess of the underworld.
There you go.
So I think at the core of that, they are worshiping this entrapment. They are anchoring in the Black Madonna systems and templing, and they're also feeding off of the sacrificial energy of Medusa as well.
It's nothing new. It's been going on for thousands of years. But because people don't know the occult, they don't know the front script in terms of what they give the slaves to quote unquote believe, and you don't know what the hell is really going on behind the scenes. I even saw it when I was in ministry. Most of the fucking dudes were effeminate, and I was not welcome there. In fact, I've seen the seat of the dark Luciferians and how they actually operate on some of the highest levels. And of course, in terms of my templating and who I am, that's not going to fucking fly. I'm not here to bow to anything. We're here to stand side by side, knowing the difference. And when you realize that you've been lied to your whole fucking life, what you've been conditioned to believe has been a lie, the entire fucking script that you've been given. What do you do at that point? Truth is going to go through 3 phases. At first, it's denied. The second phase that truth will go through is that it's violently opposed. And obviously, we see a lot of that happening in terms of the agendas, especially since the early 1920s. The third phase that truth will go through is that it becomes self-evident, and people are going to have to go through a lot more than I think they realize to get to that point. You can't just get online, jump onto a bandwagon, look at some fucking meme, read a book, listen to some podcast, and now you think you know what's up. This is years. This is over 23 years of my life dedicated to this path work. And more continues to reveal itself every single day. Again, without the proper foundation, anything you go to build, it's eventually going to collapse back in on itself. And then people are jumping from one belief system to another, one modality to another, to this and that, whatever. And they're just caught in the fucking feedback loop.
This interview is fucking great. I'm going to try to skip around a little bit just because it's long.
It's what people do not understand, is running the fucking game. Behind the veil, where they're operating.
A lot of manipulation though.
a template holder, like I am, I would say you are as well, because you definitely know certain things that a lot of people don't. All of that's going to come rising to the surface. And if it's not dealt with accordingly, it's just going to play itself out again and again and again on a loop until it's actually dealt with. Look, as far as my point of view goes right now, where we're at in 2023, a lot of people aren't going to fucking make it. There's two main timelines that are playing the fuck out right now. There's the parallel Earth timeline in terms of AI and the original timeline, like I've explained on my platform. It's going to take people getting back to the core essence of who they truly are as men and women if we're going to cross these thresholds. And we come together in terms of that sense of unity consciousness, being at a place of at one with yourself and your connection to the higher force. Higher force.
So, like I've been saying, there's definitely two main timelines playing out right now. It's awfully fucked up that until a couple of years ago, they believed ADHD only affected boys. But now all of a sudden, gender's not real. All of a sudden, all of the bullshit that they pump this DSM-5 with to start covering up people's awakenings, now it's all out the fucking window. Everything is all out the fucking window. There are two genders on this earth, male and female. Everybody has a fucking place. Literally, me growing up conservative and just growing up as a fucking pretty normal woman, I think, I was always the kind of, not Candace Cameron Burr, but yeah, kind of, like, me as a brute of a woman and aggressive and dominant. I, in a relationship, will always take the passenger seat, I guess, to the man I'm with, because I feel like that's kind of what is normal. My family has told me before, and seen me go through this with men, if you take a shitty woman and you couple her with a good man, she's probably gonna get her life together and follow her man. If you take a good woman and you pair her with a piece of shit man, that woman is probably going to follow her man through hell and turn to shit. It seems pretty accurate. I just feel like there are a lot of indigo 3s